there's no place like home for the holidays. And no matter how far away you roam, if you pine for the sunshine of a friendly gaze, for the holidays you can.
Welcome back to Horror for the Holidays, a Christmas horror movie podcast. I'm Jay Logsden.
I'm Jeff Searcy.
Jeff, anything you want to talk about this week?
Oh, yeah. You know, when you first messaged me about what we were going to do for the show, I was like, really? I thought our podcast was pretty movie-focused to begin with, and I had no idea that you were such a big Machine Gun Kelly fan. I dug into it, and I was like, yeah, this song is pretty good. I mean, and it's My Bloody Valentine off the Tickets to My Downfall album. It was released during the pandemic, I believe, September 25th, 2020. The music video was made a year later with his now wife, Megan Fox. I thought it was a pretty good music video. I mean, and the lyrics, I mean, it is definitely, it evokes the, I'm sure you may have heard of the movie that it's based on. And I was kind of like, you know, are we doing the movie? But then no, you assured me that it was the Machine Gun Kelly song we would be reviewing. And I'm like, you really think a 2-minute song is really going to equate to like a 35 to hour long podcast? And I was like, well, you know, if you dig into it, this album actually got amazing reviews, and nobody expected Machine Gun Kelly to really pivot to like punk rock style stuff, but because he'd been a rapper for so long. But I mean, honestly, it seems to have really worked out for him.
I had no idea where you were going to go with that. And I was honestly expecting you to start talking about the band My Bloody Valentine.
Oh no. I wanted to go deeper than that.
Who I think I heard one time while walking through Warped Tour on my way to see like Big D and the Kids Table play. Oh, well, we've kind of given it away. This week's episode, we're covering 1981's My Bloody Valentine. So let's set the scene. We'll deck the halls. First thing I have is it directed by George Mihalka. I don't know. This would probably be his biggest movie of note if he hadn't directed a documentary called Black Christmas Legacy, which is an extra on the Black Christmas Blu-ray DVDs.
Oh, yeah, that is very notable.
Writer John Beard. I don't know if it's Beard or Beard because there's an extra I in there.
It's pronounced Beard.
Was an uncredited co-writer on Happy Birthday to Me, which is the second connection we've had to Happy Birthday to Me on this podcast. We might have to do Happy Birthday to Me at some point in time. That movie rules.
I mean, technically, you could consider a birthday a holiday.
Yeah, we might. Maybe for your birthday, we'll do Happy Birthday to Me. Not many of the... I don't know if you could find anyone, but like either the actors were very hit or miss. They're like our lead, the guy who plays TJ... I think this is like his only movie, like credited movie appearance. And then you've got like the guy who plays Hollis, who's in, 90 some movies.
Oh yeah. Keith Knight. He had a pretty good career overall.
So yeah, you've got people who like appear in Star Trek and Supernatural, and then others who like appear in maybe 5 things total. Yeah. But I was able to find a couple people with connections to Christmas horror movies. Helen Udy, who plays Sylvia, is also in Troy Escamilla's Mrs. Claus movie. And then Jack Van Evera, who plays Happy, the bar owner, is a part of the search party in Black Christmas.
Oh, cool.
So those were 2 people I was able to find.
Was he one of the? He wasn't one of the guys who went to the door, was he?
I don't think so. I think he was, because it just said search party. I guess he could have been. But I just assumed he was like in the background, like one of those people walking through.
Probably
when they're like searching the park.
Yeah, this turned into a real who's who of Canadian character actors. I want to point out yet again, I was tricked into watching another Canadian movie.
Speaking of Canada, this movie was shot in an actual mine in Nova Scotia.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's pretty cool.
I'm surprised all the people in Nova Scotia don't still live in caves.
Do you know that Tarantino's favorite slasher movie is My Bloody Valentine.
Really?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, I could see kind of why he would like it.
Yeah, that was one of those things where like I kind of sat there and I went, that's like kind of a neat answer. Like, you know, at least he's not saying something like very obvious, like Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, which like Halloween, great movie, Nightmare on Elm Street, great movie.
It's what everybody says.
But yeah, like at least it's something interesting. And like, yeah, I can see like there's a lot of dialogue. There's a lot of people talking back and forth. And I think that I could see kind of where Tarantino would like that.
Yeah, the witty dialogue thing, definitely. I mean, maybe this influenced his style. $2,300,000 Canadian dollar budget. So what's that, like $10 actual money?
But it made $5 million across both U.S. and Canada. So I'll double its money.
Not bad. Raking in those U.S. dollars is what you really want.
And then the idea came about because they wanted to capitalize on the holiday slasher trend. So Black Christmas, Silent Night, Deadly Night, Halloween,
right?
All movies we have or will get to. And then they hadn't, so like Valentine's Day hadn't been done yet. So when they filmed it, they used the title The Secret. So they manifested it or whatever the fuck the secret book is about.
The Secret.
And then this movie was remade in the 2000s. I don't have the exact date. During that glut of remakes in the 2000s, early 2010s.
It was a January release in 2009.
And it stars one of your favorite guys, Jensen Ackles.
Oh yeah, he is my favorite guy.
I mean, I always pictured you as more of a Dean guy than a Sam guy.
Yeah, Sam is just such a whiny bitch.
I know, that's why I like Sam. And Jeff, I'm sorry to say, we should probably address this right off the bat. There are no boobs in this movie, so I apologize once again for.
Oh yeah, I also want to thank you for that, trying to get me canceled once again by showing me this movie at the beginning where he's about to have sex with a minor.
Yeah, we might as well.
That's a little joke wordplay there, folks. It's Miner.
Yeah, we'll get into our synopsis. Like Jeff says at the beginning of the movie, we see two miners walking through a coal mine. One of them starts to take off her coal mining gear, and it's a woman, a scantily clad woman.
Yes, actually scantily clad this time, not Nutcracker Massacre, where she takes off her outer layer and it's even thicker coat underneath.
And she's wearing like a lacy bra, and she has a heart-shaped tattoo on her breast. And she goes to like take off the other miner's like mask, and he plants his pickaxe in the wall behind her, and then he picks her up, and kind of reminiscent of Silent Night, Deadly Night when we get to it, he pushes her back onto the pickaxe, and it pierces through her heart, and we get our title card, My Bloody Valentine. We get a bunch of guys arriving up from out of the mine. We're introduced to kind of the whole cast. We've got TJ, Axel, Howard, Hollis, the best character in the movie.
Basically the only character in the movie.
And they're all playing grab ass in the shower.
And this is when I realized that I had been bamboozled, and they were starting to A and O.
They're all talking about the upcoming Valentine's dance and all the things they're gonna do to all the ladies. And all that stuff. And then there's an amazing scene where they're all like, "All right, I'll race you to town." And Hollis runs out of the thing. Everyone's running out to their cars, and Hollis runs out with his pants around his ankles, and he's trying to pull them up.
Yeah,
man, Hollis is just the best.
Classic Hollis.
And there's also a brief moment where it is mentioned that Axel is dating Sarah. That we need to know that because TJ was dating Sarah and then left town, left to I think go to California is what they imply, and then couldn't make it in California, so he had to come back.
He thought he could make something of himself.
So they all get into town. They arrive in Valentine's Bluff.
Oh, really?
And the small town with a big heart is there.
They're preparing for a Valentine's Day dance. Why? We haven't had a Valentine's Day dance in 20 years.
Yeah, we haven't since the tragedy.
Don't mention the tragedy.
We get a scene with Mabel and the mayor, and the mayor who is TJ's dad, and then police chief Newbie. And they're all kind of walking in, and they get startled by Howard jumping out with like fake blood all over his face. And then at one point, one of the guys in the hall hands Chief Newbie, or hands the mayor like a box, like, "Oh, hey, there was a Valentine gift here for you."
Yep.
And so they take it and they drive off, and the mayor Hanniger like lifts the top, and there's a card, and it's like, "Oh, what does the card say?" And it says, "From the heart comes a warning filled with bloody good cheer. Remember what happened as the 14th draws near." And they open the top of the box, and there's a human heart inside the. And this is one of probably the iconic like image from this movie, that with that and the Harry Warden minor appearance. Like, these are the two
got
big
heart,
things.
folks.
It got a lot of heart.
And is this where they flash back and show what happened?
I think that's a little later, but we do get like Mayor Hanniger saying something like, "Oh, it can't be happening again." Yeah. And then the kids go to the bar, and Happy starts yelling at them, and that's when we kind of learn about the flashback where years ago the mine exploded.
Yes, there's a methane explosion, and people left early to go attend the dance and weren't there to help rescue the guys.
And so like all these they were only able to rescue one person. It was Harry Warden, and he had like cannibalized some of the other
miners so he could survive.
And so they got him, and his brain was kind of broken. So the next year at the Valentine's dance, he murdered like the mayor and I think like the owner of the mine.
Yeah.
And then put their hearts inside Valentine's boxes, just like we just saw like at the dance. And Harry Warden has since been arrested, and he's upstate in some mental facility. So we Chief Newbie and the mayor are calling to investigate it. They can't get information about what happened to Harry Warden. It's going to take us a couple days to get through all that. To get through all those old files and figure this out. But we'll let you know as soon as we know. We then get a scene where Mabel, the laundromat owner, is like walking through, and the killer, the Harry Warden minor character, like comes out and attacks her.
Yep.
And then Chief Newbie the next day goes into the laundromat. So for whatever reason, the miner must have been in there the whole time, because there's still things running in the laundry machine.
He smells some kind of delicious bacon smell.
And he like, and one of my favorite parts about this is he opens one of the dryers, and like there's just a bunch of clothes in it. And the dryer right next to him clearly has blood on the inside.
Yes, and then her corpse flops against the window.
Flops out. It's all burned up and stuff. And then when he reaches inside, like when they're taking her away, inside her chest cavity is another note. And it said, "It happened once, it happened twice. Cancel the dance or it will happen thrice."
Don't you love a good limerick?
The dance is then canceled, and the kids decide to move it to the mine, but not tell any of the adults. That way, it doesn't get canceled again.
Oh, don't forget, the bartender warns him against it.
Yep, Happy tries to tell him not to do it, and he's gonna scare him. He sets up a miner that looks like Harry Warden, and that's gonna like pop out of the door when they open it. And he goes, and he thinks it's fucking hilarious. You got fucking Happy laughing as he opens the door, and the miner kind of pops out, and he just starts laughing his ass off. Does it again, closes it and opens it again. Still thinks it's so fucking funny. Does it a third time, and it's Harry Warden standing there, and he fucking axes the dude.
Finally, good riddance.
I love how hilarious Happy finds that moment.
His own prank.
We then the party starts, and all the kids are having a blast, and then one guy goes back to get hot dogs out of the.
By the way, is this like a Canadian disgusting thing or what? Boiling a pot of hot dogs? Really?
And I boil brats.
Well, yeah, broth. That's like, it's a sausage with a different taste, different texture. It needs a longer cook. It's like a hot dog. They couldn't have a grill.
No, I mean, clearly, I don't know. Maybe they don't want the grill to blow up the methane in the mine.
Like, use charcoal.
It's so. Well, Jeff, you got to use clean burning propane.
Oh, no.
And propane accessories.
No. A little sidetrack there. You remember the episode where Hank is away and Peggy and Bobby try charcoal, and it's so much more delicious?
Yeah, we watched that the other night. It was really funny. That's such a good episode. And that's the same one where Hank flashes his butt on the elevator and moons everybody.
Back to what we were talking about.
Right. So yeah, a guy goes back and he's like, "Oh, a hot dog," and he like reaches his hand and there's boiling water. Oh, it's hot.
Really?
And Harry Warden appears behind him and shoves his head into the boiling water.
Can you believe it? A pot of boiling water on the stove is hot.
It kills the guy. Chief Newbie finds Mabel's heart inside another box. There's this scene where like a guy goes, "Oh, chief, Valentine arrived for you. And he's very nervous. He thinks, it's going to be another heart. And he opens it up and it's actually just candy. And there was a note from Mabel asking him to be her Valentine. And he's all sad and wistful. And then the guy goes, Chief, you might want to look out here. And there's like a bloody Valentine's box sitting on the thing. And then there's a note that says like, it says something like, you didn't stop the party. And then Chief Newbie like yells into the ether, what party are you talking about? Or something like that. What damn party?
And I think this is the point where they find Sylvia in the mine, right?
Or is Sylvia the shower kill?
Yeah.
Okay, so we get this scene where Sylvia and a guy whose name I don't remember, because it doesn't matter, he's not Hollis, the best character. They're off making out, and Sylvia he runs off to go get some beer or something. And while he's running in to go get beer, he opens the refrigerator door and doesn't look inside and misses the body shoved inside the refrigerator of the boiled man.
I mean, easy thing to miss.
And so then he closes the door, and so while he's gone, she keeps hearing noises, and there's like there's like minor clothing that they like string up in the ceiling rafters. I assume it's so like after they wash it can like dry.
Probably, yeah.
And so she gets like startled by a bunch of these falling, and then Harry Warden kills her. And then he like shoves her on a shower spigot.
Yep.
And so he goes back in to find her, and he hears the shower running, and he goes in and he finds like blood spewing out of her mouth. And
then this is the point where the girl finds Dave, right? And they both kind of run out at the same time, and they can't tell him what's wrong.
Right. Yeah. And so that's going on. And right before that happens, Hollis, Sarah, Howard, Patty, Mike, and Harriet all go down into the mine, and TJ tells them, you can't take girls into the mine.
Oh yeah, I forgot. It's a woman-free mine, except for that female miner we already saw at the beginning.
It raises so many questions. Why was if TJ literally says, you know the rules, no women in the mine, but then how was that female miner allowed in the movie at the beginning?
Exactly.
And so then so he's all startled by this, and he runs in and kind of tells about it. And then I think one of the people opens the refrigerator door, and the guy's body sloughs out. Everyone flees. Axel goes to run away, and TJ grabs him. He's like, no,
we gotta go warn him.
Gotta go rescue Sarah and the others.
Yeah, we better go down there.
And so they go down, and everyone's speeding into town. Gotta
bring up this point. First, they get on all their mining gear so that they can look exactly like the murderer.
Right. And so they got to throw out all their mining gear. Even though I think Hollis literally goes down and just takes off the flat cap that he was wearing and just puts on a mining helmet instead.
Yeah. And that's it.
And so we get this great scene where like there's this car just speeding through town, like constantly like doing donuts and like starting and stopping, and the police chief like pulls them over, and they're like, you gotta get to the mine, there's dead bodies there. But while this is going on, down in the mine, Mike and Harriet kind of sneak off to go. They sneak off to go fuck, and Howard and Hollis kind of set up Sarah and Patty to get scared, and then they hear probably one of my favorite moments of the movie when they know something's wrong, and it like deep back in the tunnel you can see the miner. Harry Warden, you can see him smashing the lights, and like you just hear it in the background. Like one of my favorite scenes of the whole movie. Like that's a scene I think about a lot. So they go through, and Hollis is like, well, we got to go back and get Mike and Harriet, and so they go back to where they left them, and Hollis finds Mike and Harriet like driven through with a giant drill.
Yep.
And he's all freaked out, and he turns around and he gets like nail gunned to the face multiple times.
I've heard of a girl getting drilled, but this is ridiculous.
So then Hollis like stumbles out. He's got nails all through his face. Harry Warden sneaks out or is coming towards them. Howard runs off, leaving the girls behind. Axel finds the girls, and then Axel, Patty, and Sarah are kind of going through the mine. They think they hear Harry Warden coming.
This is the point where Patty becomes insufferably annoying.
Yep.
It's like, I can't go on.
No, Patty is very much the Franklin from Texas Chainsaw Massacre of this movie. And he but Axel like picks up like this big like piece of wood and smacks TJ like with it because they think he's Harry Warden. They try to get everyone up up top through the elevator, but the elevator controls have been destroyed. So they are going to have to climb up this big ladder out of the mine. And while they're climbing, like, Patty's more and more insufferable. And Axel
Yes.
has just a big fucking stupid grin on his face the whole time he's climbing the ladder, like it's the best thing he's ever done. Knowing what we know, okay, we'll spoil it right here. Axel is the Harry Warden, is the killer. But like, not knowing it, it looks like the actor who plays Axel just having a blast fucking climbing this ladder.
Oh man, I've never been able to climb a ladder before.
He's just got this big doofy smile on his face. And so Axel like hits something and it causes like somehow Howard got like strung up like with like strangled with like a rope, and it causes it to like fall down right in front of like Patty and Sarah, and then continue just to fall to the ground. So they all then turn around and go back down the ladder, and they're going to find a way out a different way.
But don't worry, folks. Patty's not going to last long.
They go through like a kind of like a flooded area, and it's very dangerous. So like TJ goes first, helps the girls get through, and then Axel's supposed to go, and we hear Axel get attacked off screen.
Yes, this is where he drowns.
Yep, and then we see his mining helmet like sinking down into the bottom of the water, and so they're trying to get away, and Patty like rounds a corner and takes a pickaxe to the stomach.
Yep. Get picked.
TJ and Sarah get on the mine carts, and Harry Warden chases after them, and they have this big fight scene on the mine cart. And like where Harry Warden has the pickaxe and TJ has the shovel, and they're fighting each other with it. And then Harry Warden, like they get off, and while this is going on, the entire search party from the town is coming down into the mine.
Entire convoy of people.
And they go. So like they find the empty mine carts going up, so we know they're close. But Harry Warden chases them into like an abandoned part of the mine that has like an unstable roof. They're fighting. It looks like Harry Warden's just about to kill TJ, and Sarah's able to like get his mask off, and it reveals that it's Axel, and we get this flashback to the night that Harry Warden attacked, and it turns out
His
Axel,
father was one of the supervisors that got killed.
And Axel was under the bed, like, watching at the time, so he saw this happen, and he was traumatized by watching his father get killed.
Apparently that turned him into a psychotic murderer.
And so I think they, like, throw a rock at him, and then the rock, like, knocks loose, like...
Collapses the loose roof.
Yep, yeah. and it falls down on top of Axel. We get this notification that, like, oh, no, it wasn't Harry Warden. Harry Warden died 5 years ago.
Yes, finally.
And so, oh, no, it wasn't Harry Warden. It was Axel. And so they go down to try and unbury the thing, and they find Axel's hand, and he's still alive. Sarah wants to go and see him, and Axel kind of like pulls away, and he goes deeper into the mine, and he starts yelling. I kind of wrote down the whole quote. He yells like, "Hanniger, I'll be waiting in hell for you. Harry, I'm coming. This whole fucking town is going to die. We're coming back, you bastards." He then like laughs maniacally and then says, "Sarah, be my bloody Valentine." So he does the thing.
Yeah, he said the thing.
Yeah, he says the thing. He says the name of the movie.
He said, "I'm Superman 4, The Quest for Peace."
And then he sings, "Daddy's gone away. Harry Warden made you pay." And then Axel's laughing continues as the credits roll, and the song "The Ballad of Harry Warden" starts to play.
Once upon a time, on a sad Valentine, in a place known as Henniger Mine, a legend began. Every woman and man would always remember the time. And those who remain were never the same. You could see the fear in their eyes. Once every year, as the 14th draws near, there's a hush all over the town. For the legend, they say, on a Valentine's Day is a curse that'll live on. And no one will know as the years come and go of the horror from long time ago. We'll stop there.
Now do Working Man.
So
that's the whole movie. So do you want to get into our minutia section?
Yeah, let's Christmas sweater this bitch up.
All right. Christmas sweater. Hollis.
Yes.
Hollis has the best mustache in any movie maybe ever.
It is a very powerful mustache.
He's got this great curly mustache.
Just such a great basically the only memorable character in this whole movie.
Hollis fucking rules. He has these cool little like circle glasses.
Yes.
They
Oh
look
my
fantastic.
God. Such a badass.
At one point, he wears a hat that says "Kiss Maya." And there's a picture of a donkey on it.
Yes.
Which is just a great look.
I need that hat.
And then I think my favorite Hollis thing, besides the scene where he's running through the parking lot with his pants around his ankles and he's trying to pull him up as he's running.
Definitely one of the funniest parts of the movie.
Hollis's Valentine outfit is the outfit he wears to the Valentine's dance. He wears like a red Valentine, I'd say like a beige shirt, and then like a red vest. And then a matching beige like flat cap. He looks amazing.
He does.
Hollis is absolutely the best character.
I mean, this movie should have been about him. Fuck TJ.
No, Hollis should be the actor who plays Hollis should be the main character of the movie.
Keith Knight just destroys this character.
He's so good. R.I.P.
Yes.
We stan a legend. Harry Warden has the minor look is really iconic. I love that look.
It is a really cool look for a killer. I've always been a sucker for the gas mask look, especially like the World War I style ones. And I know that there's nothing inherently scary about these respirators, but it's just, I don't know, it's something. I don't know what it is.
And like we said at the beginning, the thing about like wanting to do for Valentine's Day what for what Halloween did for Halloween, what Silent Night, Deadly Night did for Christmas. They wanted to do, they want to do their own thing. They've got the deep breathing, they don't really do the POV shot, but like every time Harry Warren's near, you hear the respirator going.
And the choice to film in a real mine, I think really helps out the atmosphere of the movie and makes it, especially during the final third, which is where most of the action in the movie happens, chasing them through the mine and everything was really atmospheric and well done.
No, those scenes are really like it feels claustrophobic. It feels like you're in a mine, and it's what we talked about on Terror Train. They filmed on an actual train and it feels like it. They filmed in an actual mine and it feels like it.
Yes, captured the darkness, the claustrophobia, the like when he mistakes, which is hilarious in hindsight that he's worried about running into the killer when he is the killer.
Right.
But yeah, when he whaps TJ with that board around the corner, it's like, yeah, in a situation like that, you literally can't see anything out of the shaft that you're in.
Mm-hmm. No, it's fantastic. It's one of truly, this is probably one of my favorite movies.
The visual of him going down, especially when you're locked underground in a situation like that with the elevator out, and he's just going along breaking the only light sources.
Very once again, very reminiscent of Terror Train.
Yes.
We got a similar scene like that in Terror Train. Random set decoration. I loved like all the Valentine stuff was really cool. I love the big Valentine Bluff sign.
Yeah,
I love that
cool.
sign. That's a great image. The big town with a little heart, or the little town, a small town with a big heart.
The heart boxes were cool that he delivers the actual hearts in.
And then the another random like set decoration is like the Moosehead beer.
Yeah.
Like neon sign in the bar. I think is really cool.
Oh, and Mabel's Valentine's decorations at her laundromat are cool too.
Yeah, that's very neat. I love the after Harry Warden has been there, all the hearts are turned upside down. I thought that was really neat.
That was a nice touch.
Anything else?
Not Christmas sweater. I don't think so.
All right. Do you want to do Christmas carols?
Sure.
Favorite quotes. Let me get mine out here. I think we've.
Yeah, there's a few. This is not really. I didn't have a ton that jumped out at me, but.
So I got one when Mayor Hanniger is and Chief Newbie they've got the first box and they don't know there's a heart in it yet. Mayor Hanniger goes, "If there's one thing I like more than Christmas candy, it's Valentine's candy." I don't know why that tickled me, but I thought it was a funny line.
Was like, what? Okay. Oh, that's when Axel and Howard are talking about Gretchen. I like this exchange. Axel's like, "Oh, Landers, that's Howard's last name. You're going to need a lot of exercise if you're going to be able to grapple with Gretchen." And then Howard's like, "Oh, yeah, I got a Valentine for her. She's never going to forget." The kind of sleazy dialogue you want in the movie.
Right. There's a scene when Mayor Hanniger shows up and they're getting ready for the dance at the beginning of the movie. Mayor Hanniger says to TJ, "Where are you going, son?" And TJ says, "Where I always go this time of day, for another beer and a real good nose pick."
Also, We mentioned it earlier, but what damn party?
That's a good one. Not necessarily like a funny line or like good dialogue or anything like that, but I just love the like, you know the rules. No women allowed down in the mine. Which once again, why was that a rule if there was a woman down in the mine at the beginning of the movie? We never know who that woman is. We just know she gets killed.
Yeah.
And her heart's in a box. There's no resolution to what happened to that lady.
True. Oh, going back to Howard and Gretchen, when he asks her to the dance, I like this exchange too. He's like, "Hey, Gretchen, you want to be my date for the dance?" And she's like, "Dry up." And he's like, "Gretchen, you know what would look really good on you? What? Me." And she's like, "Suck it in and zip it up."
I love Gretchen. She's great.
I thought the part was funny after that huge dramatic thing with the car, where he's like, I'll see if I can find the exact.
But I was gonna say, while you're looking for that, I do love the whole. I love the dumb little rhymes or the dumb little like Valentines found inside the boxes that we read, and I do love the thing that when Happy's kind of recounting the whole story. It feels very like Scooby Doo, like you kids stay away from there.
Stay away from the old Hennigan mine.
You know what happened 20 years ago at the Hennigan mine.
Oh yeah, here it is. He's like, "God damn it, Tommy Whitcomb, what's the matter with you? Where's your brains at?" And he's like, "Chief, you gotta listen to me. You have to go to the mine. We were having a party and Harry Warden started killing everybody." And just like matter of factly, like he doesn't even sound that worried about it. Like it's a big inconvenience because it fucked up our party.
I can't believe Harry Warden just showed up at our party and started killing everybody. Yeah, got anything else or?
Oh, what was it? Oh yeah, I think it's when they get the second package, and you said the thing about the thrice note. When he gets that package, he's like, "Hey Chief, got a package for you," and he's like, "Get me some coffee, will you?" No, that was the last one I had.
All right. That might be the third one too. I don't remember, but yeah, I remember that line. Let's do broken bulb, brilliant bulb.
Yes.
My broken bulb is especially that final scene. Axel runs into the mine. He's yelling about how he and Harry are gonna like kill that fucking town. My broken bulb is they clearly left room for a sequel, and we don't get one. Like they clearly thought they stood a chance of, and I even read that they had an idea for a sequel and it never got made. And up until 27 years later, what'd you say, 2009,
yep.
we didn't get there was never another My Bloody Valentine thing.
And that's a shame because I think they still had some life left in the concept.
No, I think you could do a lot with it. And honestly, of that glut of remakes in the 2000s, I do think the My Bloody Valentine one is one of the better ones. I think it's one of the ones that holds up really well.
Well, especially since they already established in the first one that this is a mantle that can be passed on to other people. Mm-hmm. It's like it could very easily be continued through sequels.
So yeah, like that's my big broken bulb. That was the thing where I ended the movie and I just kind of wanted to go, what would they have done for a second movie? That would have been really cool. Mm-hmm. So,
what about your brilliant bulb?
My brilliant bulb is Hollis. That guy was awesome.
Yes. My broken bulb was so much of what happens in the movie is centered in like the last about 30 minutes. Mm-hmm. I think it could have used some more kills earlier on, or at least some more like POV shots of Harry like going around town.
I think we get people. One Harry Warden like POV scene, and it's in Mabel's laundromat.
Yeah, it's like I think we could have used a few more of those scattered throughout the movie to kind of keep up the tension a little bit more. And my brilliant bulb was, I was going to say Hollis too, but I was like, no, honestly, I think the design of the killer it's so memorable, even though you really don't see him all that much. Just the iconic look of that like pickaxe and the mine respirator and mask or
you got the
combined.
helmet, with the helmet with the light on it. No, it's an iconic. I jokingly brought up Scooby Doo.
Yeah,
it looks like he looks like he could be a Scooby Doo villain, and he looks like he's right there with like the ghost of Captain Cutler, the yellow, like the
diver,
diver like outfit. Like it is as iconic to me as that outfit is. Like
no, it's definitely you could definitely, if you just by a glance, you could recognize him like any of the other major slashers, which I think is impressive given that they only really had one movie in the remake.
Yep. Christmas spirit, how Christmassy is the movie, or how Valentine's-y is the movie,
How
Valentine's-y are the
Valentine's-y
kills.
is this? I mean, this is a really Valentine's-y movie, and honestly, the kills are pretty Valentine's-y too. Well, at least the 4 or 5 hearts that he carves out.
Yeah, the posing of the hearts and stuff
Yes.
like that is very Valentine's-y. The putting them in the boxes.
Yes.
No, that and yeah, there's Valentine's decorations everywhere.
Yes, it's central to the plot of the movie.
And the town is literally named after Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Like the reason they threw such a big Valentine's Day party, a big Valentine's dance, the reason it was the social event of the year, the reason why Harry Warden got trapped in the mine in the first place is because it's called Valentine's Bluff, and
The Valentine's dance
the
is so
Valentine's
important.
dance, was the most important thing. Like,
It's just basically the plot doesn't work without Valentine's Day, so I don't think you get more Valentine's-y than that.
no, I think it's very, I think it does a very good job. It's for reaching like into what the holiday is, and he doesn't like shoot a Cupid's
Yes.
arrow through anybody, but like like you said, the ripping the hearts out, the finding like the bodies with the hearts ripped
Yes.
out, and then the hearts put in boxes is very cool.
Even with, and really the Cupid thing, in a movie like To All a Good Night, something like that, I could see that happening. But this really does not treat itself as like a funny movie or like a tongue-in-cheek type thing. It's taken pretty seriously, and I think that's one of the things that helps it be such a good movie.
No, like outside of some of like the comedic things,
Yes, like the
and
quippy dialogue or whatever, kind of to break the tension, but the murders are never treated in a joking way.
the Howard and Hollis of it all, like that stuff is very funny, but it's in service of something else.
It serves to break the tension, so that way when something violent does happen again, it hits that much harder.
Or Happy laughing his ass off
Yeah.
at his little prank, and then he gets axed in the gut.
God, that was so great.
So yeah, do you want to do your final rating?
Oh yeah, this is gonna be a seasonally scary for me.
Yeah, every movie we rate on one of 3 categories. Is it ho 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 hilarious? Is it seasonally scary? Or is it you'll be sorry? So Jeff, you said seasonally scary?
Seasonally scary. This takes itself seriously. It's got some genuinely like kills that you would not expect from a movie at this time period, like barbecuing the old lady in the dryer. It's like, I wasn't really scared watching it, but I could see this would have been shocking when it came out, I'm sure, for some of the brutality, like the carving open of the chests and barbecuing the old lady, boiling the guy in the hot dog pot. Stuff like that. It could still be scary if you're sensitive to violence today.
No, I completely agree. I think seasonally scary as well. And as you were saying, like, we didn't even get the whole movie. I didn't put this in the Deck the Halls section. There's like somewhere between like 3, 5, or 9 minutes that are like missing from this movie because it came out right around the time John Lennon got killed, and like everyone was real sensitive at the time, so they had to trim some of the stuff. And I think they've been able to restore like 3 minutes of kills, but there's still potentially like 6 minutes still out there. And yeah, like the violence is kind of hardcore. Like the bloody hearts in the boxes is an iconic image, and it's gross. Those are real, or I don't know that they're real human hearts, but they look real.
They do look real, yeah. This definitely, I think, exceeds the early like Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th in violence.
But yeah, and fun slasher. I think it's and just the atmosphere and the atmospheric moments with the especially being down in the mine, how claustrophobic it feels. Like I said, my favorite moment is when Harry's walking through, smashing the lights. The only source of light in the mine.
That is a great scene.
Terrifying. And then just the setting is neat. Like if you had said to me, hey Jay, we want to make a Valentine's themed horror movie, I don't know what I would have done. I don't think I would have picked this, but it's so neat. And like now it's one of the most iconic.
Yeah, I never would have thought of this as an idea for Valentine's Day horror movie.
What next? Naughty list?
Yeah, we might as well.
So where do you want to put Harry Warden?
Are we rating him as Harry Warden, or are we rating him as Axel?
I think so to me, like it's always kind of been interchangeable. Like
so we're counting the accomplishments of both of them.
Yeah, I was gonna say like you kind of said, Dread Pirate Roberts. Like Harry Warden, Harry Warden is Harry Warden, but Harry Warden is also
a
Axel.
mantle. Yeah.
Yep. So I was thinking, right around the Michael Myers, Mr. and Mrs. Claus from Once Upon a Time at Christmas area. Like he kills a lot of people and he's fucking brutal about it. Like, and he eats people.
He does kill at least 4 birds.
He kills 4 birds. That's enough for one movie.
Yeah, that makes him go okay in my book. But yeah, no, I would agree. Somewhere around that mid-tier killer. He's definitely not like the most destructive thing we've seen so far. But I mean, honestly, he does have a little bit of that Michael Myers quality where it's like he seems to be somewhat resistant to like injuries that would kill a normal person. And he does seem to have like some degree of like, I don't know what you would call it, like maniac strength. He seems to be able to like lifting her up and stabbing her on the shower head and stuff like that, or something you think would not be too easy for a normal guy.
No, and I think the guy who is like Harry Warden, who is the miner, and then the actor who plays Axel, I think those are 2 different people.
Yeah.
And so, so you see Harry Warden and I think they got like a tall dude. Like he looks intimidating.
Yes.
The miner is a tall, intimidating, like strong individual.
Yes, he gives off, and they probably did it on purpose, but he gives off heavy like shape vibes. The way he's got his miner's jumpsuit on and his mask.
Oh, I absolutely, like they pulled from Halloween, and so that's why I thought maybe putting him right around.
Yeah, he's definitely. I would say he's definitely a Michael level killer.
Yeah, I was gonna say like put him in that honorable mention category with Michael of like. This is where, like I said, I think we put our Michael goes there, Harry Warden goes there, and our symbolic person who goes there is the killer from right now is the killer from like Once Upon a Time at Christmas is killer Mr. and Mrs. Claus.
Honestly, if you took what he does in this movie versus what Michael does in his first movie, I think he's a more brutal killer in this first one, but he does not have the benefit of all the sequels.
Right, no, and that's certainly what makes Michael
increase his power level.
And then, being born in under the symbol of the druids
and imbued with the ability to never die.
And then beat up Busta Rhymes.
Oh man, that was a difficult battle. I thought Busta was going to win for sure. Oh man.
So every episode of Horror for the Holidays, we like to clean out our email inbox or shove a bunch of stuff in our face in a segment we like to call
Garbage Day! Huh? No!
So, that's right. This is our Garbage Day segment for this week. And no one sent any emails. So I thought I would...
Damn you, listeners.
I thought I would meet Jeff halfway. And we got a couple Valentine's Day candies. I got Sour Patch Kids hearts. I think they're pink.
Ah.
And then I got Sour Patch Kids Sour Hearts, black raspberry flavored. So I got those. So there's our Valentine. And then because of how much to complete the feel, to complete the theme of the movie, I also got Jeff and I each a bottle of clearly Canadian water. So would you so would you rather have Mountain Blackberry or Summer Strawberry?
Summer Strawberry. You. I despise you.
Nothing says My Bloody Valentine like some clearly Canadian water and sour hearts.
Personally, I've never cared for Canada.
Instant reaction. I clearly Canadian was popular, I think, when we were kids. They brought it back relatively recently, but like this was like the water that like kids drank. Like I drank this all the time when I was a kid. I love this stuff.
I never had this.
Like I think these rock. I think these taste amazing.
All right, Canadians, you win this one. It's pretty good.
Ontario or other Canadian springs. Product of Canada. Spring water sources: Whistler, British Columbia, Formosa, Ontario, or other Canadian springs.
Well, let's just pretend it came from Nova Scotia.
Right up there with the My Bloody Valentine. So yeah, they brought these back. I always thought they were fantastic. Probably one of my favorite like beverages, and it's one of those things. How do you get kids to drink water? And like, I'm sure it's not healthy for you, but like, dang, it tastes good.
I mean, 90 calories for the whole bottle is not bad.
Mm-hmm.
So I started off with the sour one. It's pretty good.
Okay. I just did the pink one, just the hearts. And that's pretty tasty.
I mean, you usually can't go wrong with Sour Patch Kids.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Yeah. Definitely would buy again.
So
And yeah, the water is pretty good.
So I'm gonna try the black raspberry sour one. I might be an idiot.
Oh, really?
But I think these are do go on. I think these might be their Sour Patch Kids also does like a Santa's coal or something like that.
Yes, that is exactly what that tastes like.
Yeah, and I think these are the same thing, just shaped into hearts.
Oh, man, they just flattened Santa's coal, didn't they?
Yep, they sure did.
You bastards. Also, what the hell, Canada? 11 ounces?
I'm surprised it's not in liters.
What am I, a baby? 11 ounces?
These are also like, I think around $3 a bottle. This
Oh
shit's
my
expensive.
god. $3 for an 11-ounce bottle of water?
Gotta pay that import
I
tax.
was say, what are you, Canadians rolling in the dough up there?
They're rolling in their Canadian
I was
dollars.
to say, must be ranching more moose than before.
But yeah, all things really good. If you can find clearly Canadian water wherever you're at, I think it's top tier. I don't know how healthy it is. Like, I don't know how it stacks up against like other.
I mean, it's about half the calories of a similar sized can of pop.
Okay, but like, I don't know. Like, probably has some sugar in it as
Yeah.
opposed to like bubbly or Polar, which are both like seltzers that don't have any.
That just has some nice carcinogenic chemicals in it.
Yeah. So who knows? But I think those are tasty, and yeah, go buy these Sour Patch. They're Sour Patch Kids. Like, but yeah, neat flavors. They don't taste bad. Fun little things to snack on. I think they're all wins.
Now, for my Valentine's gift for you, Jay, I have this cardboard box dripping with blood.
All right, let's open it. Oh my God.
That's right. It happened thrice. Thrice!
It happened thrice. No, what damn party? But speaking of, I guess we'll just kind of get into our just talking about promotion stuff like that. A My Bloody Valentine board game just came out from Fright Rags. Same idea as the Silent Night, Deadly Night board game that Jeff and I need to break out one of these days and play.
Definitely.
But so that looks like a lot of fun, and they also did a novelization of the movie, which I picked up.
Cool.
Not had a chance to read it, but maybe we'll do that once again. We're talking about doing a Horror for the Holidays book club at some point in time. So that'd be a fun thing to do. Other things to promote. There's 2 Christmas horror movies currently funding on Indiegogo. One of them is called Triple Xmas. As of today, it has less than $10,000 to make to reach their goal, and you guys will have about 5-6 days. I've already put Jeff and I down to help get this movie get made, and if you guys want to help out as well, I think it's going to be a blast. It looks like it's going to be very silly.
Sure, it'd be a worthwhile project.
Very what did you say? Santa's sleigh at like a porn studio or at a porn shoot.
Yeah, pretty much.
Killer Santa at a porn studio. It looks very funny on Christmas night. It looks ridiculous. And then
Man, they got to work on Christmas.
The same guys who did Hell on the Shelf and Sister Krampus are doing one called Yule Log.
Yes.
And that one is also funding on Indiegogo. And I don't know if they've already reached their desired goal, but I don't know if you guys want to throw some money their way to help maybe make the movie a little better.
But before we have to whip out our Yule logs, we're going to have to watch The Killing Tree.
Oh, yeah. We'll get there. We speaking of watching movies, Jeff and I found an app called Q.
Oh, God.
You can follow us on there. And it's basically, we've put most of the movies from our list. I don't know about all of them. I'm trying to curate it.
Yeah.
And then it gives us an option where I've kind of written like synopses of the movies we've watched and kind of given them ratings about, love it, like it, meh. And then I think there's like a dislike. And so, movies like Barricade have dislikes. Movies like Black Christmas have loves. And it just kind of written.
We've written
Written like just general thoughts about the movie, kind of things we had already mentioned on the podcast.
Also, what do you mean you dislike Barricade?
And then but there's a neat feature that Jeff and I are probably going to be introducing here soon. Maybe not for every movie, but certainly when we're having trouble picking a movie, it's got a thing where we've set our filter and we can basically spin a roulette and it'll tell us what movie we should watch next.
Spin the wheel and face the deal.
Yeah, so
Be a real Mad Max situation.
So that's exciting. Follow us on Q, and while you're there, we're Horror for the Holidays, and I think we're also the same Horror the number 4 Holidays, just like we are on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok.
Horror for the Holidays at youtube.com, just our normal name. If you want the audio backups, or you just like to listen on YouTube, we're building up some subscribers there. Leave comments if you want to. Downvote, upvote, doesn't matter. Just interact with the product.
Certainly that great comment about me being heartbroken because Jeff only agreed to do this to see movies with boobs in them.
Yes. Was this a secret? I thought people were aware of this.
No, I just made it very apparent when you said it on the last episode. That's been my promotion for that whole last episode. And then also our bad Admiral Akbar impressions.
It's a trap. What do you mean an impression? This is actual Admiral Akbar.
But yeah, also follow us on or give us a rating on your podcast of choice, podcatcher of choice. Subscribe, leave us a review, 5 stars.
5 stars. Quit eating into the mic, you fat fucks.
Yeah, leave that as a review. If you dislike this episode, if you have misophonia and we're just absolutely unbearable to listen to, give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts that says "Stop eating into the microphones, you fat fucks." That will get our goat, and that'll teach us a goddamn lesson.
Oh, I'll be so angry.
But yeah, other than that, I think that's about it for now. I don't think we have anything else exciting.
Yeah.
Well, maybe
I can't really think of anything else except I had a little outro here. Again, when Jay messaged me about this, I thought it was really weird. We normally review movies, but did you know that the Tickets to My Downfall album was actually one of the most successful pop punk albums since the 90s?
I did not.
It was crazy. And just the fact that there's a song that's the same name as this movie that I'm sure you intended me to watch, but I didn't care to research any further.
What was the most successful pop punk album of the 90s?
I guess it's got to be some Nirvana thing.
Oh, I was going to say like Blink-182 or Green Day maybe.
Maybe. I don't know. They might have been more early 2000s
when
they had their big albums.
I know, but I don't know. I guess I've always... Green Day, classic Green Day, I always thought... And Blink-182 I think was maybe 90s. But I don't know. I've never been a big pop punk fan. I've been more of a regular punk fan.
Want to know something interesting? The whole reason that Machine Gun Kelly transitioned from rap to doing this pop punk music is because the drummer from Blink-182 has actually become a collaborator with him, and he actually produces these albums with him.
Oh, that is very interesting. Did you know that the only reason I knew who Machine Gun Kelly was before all the Megan Fox stuff was because WWE at one time thought it was a good idea to use him to promote something?
Oh, really?
And I was like, I don't know who the fuck this guy is. And that tradition continued last Saturday at the Royal Rumble when they had Hardy perform. A guy I've never heard of who I think had a line where he's like, because he's like done a lot, but I still ain't sold out. Put your middle fingers in the air.
Oh yeah,
it was really bad. It was a bad Royal Rumble all around.
It's real WWE level shit.
It really was. The only good thing was the Sami Zayn Roman Reigns thing continuing. And the worst thing was the Bray Wyatt Mountain Dew Pitch Black match.
You were correct because Nirvana is restricted to the grunge charts.
Okay.
So yes, Green Day's Dookie was the most popular album.
I had a feeling it might have been Dookie.
Yes, 1994.
All right, so
now that we've answered that burning question that has absolutely nothing to do with the movie we reviewed.
Yeah, now that we just bullshitted for another 5 minutes at the end of our podcast, we'll sign off and we'll see you guys again in 2 weeks.
Subscribe for more of this great music analysis.
And we'll talk to you then. Have a happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day and goodbye.
Thanks for listening. Bye.